Hey yogis, welcome back to Yoga with Leanna. I'm Leanna, and I went on a super long bike ride yesterday, and I'm feeling super tight in the front of my body. If you also like to do long bike rides, this flow will be perfect for you. If you're not into cycling, it'll still be really nice to just open up the whole front of the body, the hip flexors, the quads, the core, and also getting into the front of the chest. So let's get started right away in downward facing dog. Take a few slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. And just noticing the sensations in your body. Noticing the expansion of the lungs. Good. Inhale, glide forward into high plank. And then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Good. Bring your arms into a cactus position so that your elbows are just a little forward of your shoulders. To the left side. I like to bring my right foot behind the left calf, and then I come up onto my right fingertips and let your head just relax onto the mat. Good. So with your left hand that's planted on the floor, press it down into the floor and pull back. You should feel an opening there to the front of the left side of the chest. There's two pec muscles in there. They tend to get really tight. So allowing those to open up. Good. Come on back to center. And we will switch sides. Roll to the right. And so that right hand that's planted down, press it into the floor and pull back. So it's almost like you've got something under your hand and like you want to drag it towards the back of the mat. And make your way back to center. And bring your hands basically under the shoulders so the fingertips are in line with the tops of the shoulders. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale, peel your heart up, baby cobra. Good. Squeeze the elbows in towards your body. Reach the elbows back as you pull the heart forward. Exhale, lower down. Good. This time, reach your hands back. Let your palms face down. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale, lift everything up. Good. Reach the heart forward as your fingertips reach back. Inner thighs squeeze together a little bit. For one more deep breath. Good. Lower all the way down. And last thing here, interlace your hands together behind your back. And try to bring the palms together if you can. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale, lift everything up. Good. The key here is reaching the knuckles back towards the heels to get that opening to the front of the chest. So smiling from collarbone to collarbone. Inner thighs squeeze together, both sides of the neck are long. One more deep breath. Good. Lower all the way down. Press back into child's pose. Good. Ease your way into down dog. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, look forward, step your foot to where your right thumb is. Drop your back knee down. And let's make our way up into a low lunge. Good. With your back shin or your left shin, it's like you want to drag the yoga mat forward. Left glute is strong, and you're lifting those core muscles up towards the chest. Good, reaching up through the ring fingers, but finding some space on both sides of the neck. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the right, and hook your elbow outside of your knee. Good. With your inhale breath, think about lengthening the left ribs forward. And with your exhale breath, press into your hands and lay your chest away from your thumbs. Good. Inhale back into a low lunge. And exhale, bring your hands down. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee. And let's step into a pyramid pose. So both heels on the mat, all 10 toes facing forward. I like to keep my fingertips on the mat so I can lengthen the spine a little bit more and lengthen the space between the right hip crease and the right low ribs. Good. Bend your front knee, place your hands down, and step back, down dog. Inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot to where your left thumb is. And gently drop the back knee and come on up into a low lunge. Good. So again, a lot of times I see people kind of slinky situation, slinking down towards the mat. You want to keep some lift. So it's like you want to draw those low core muscles up into the chest. With the right shin, press down and pull forward. And reach through the ring fingers, keeping both sides of the neck long. Nice. Bring your palms together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook your elbow outside of your knee. Good. Every inhale, try to lengthen the right ribs forward. Every exhale, press into your hands. Lay your chest away from your thumbs. Good. Inhale back into a low lunge. Reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down and curl your back toes under, lift your back knee, and step your back foot in, coming into pyramid pose. Good. So from that left hip crease to the left low ribs, try to find as much length as you can as you reach the low ribs forward. And if you're into cycling, then you know how tight your body gets after a long bike ride. Feels so good to do some yoga. Good. Bend your front knee, place your hands down, and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, and then let's turn all 10 toes to face the left, with your toes facing out a little bit and your heels in. Good. Hands a little bit more forward of the shoulders, with both sides of the body nice and long. Good. Getting into the inner thighs. Bend your right knee and shift your hips toward the right. Good. With your left foot, press it down into the mat and act like you want to drag the mat towards the other foot. So both feet are pressing down and pulling in as you reach the heart forward. Good. Come on back to center and switch sides. And pressing both feet into the mat and pulling in. It's like you want to drag the heels towards each other. And finding that nice stretch in the inner right thigh. Nice. Come on back to center and bring your hands back to the front of the mat. And step back, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand and gently drop your back knee down. Finding a lizard lunge, making sure that your front ankle is a little bit more forward of your knee. Good, and again, the body always wants to slouch down towards the mat. Everything that's touching the mat is pressing down into it so you can get some lift away from the mat. All right, bend your back knee. Reach back with your right hand for the top of your foot. You might need a strap or a towel or something like that. And press the mat away as you reach your heart forward. And just play with that quad stretch. You can bring the foot a little closer to the butt, but you also want to try to kick your foot away at the same time. Really getting into the meaty part of the quad. If you're super open here and you want to go deeper, you can bend the left elbow, or you can bring your left elbow down onto the mat. I'm not doing that today, but take your pick. Good. Gently release your back foot. And let's come into pigeon pose. Bring your front foot to the other side of the mat. And gently drop it down. Make sure the back leg is straight behind you. Inhale to lift and press the mat away. Keep some of that lift as you exhale into pigeon. Good. With your front shin, press down and pull back. With your back shin, the left shin, press down and pull forward. The heart is reaching towards the thumbs. A couple deep breaths. Good. Place your hands back under your shoulders. Curl your left toes under, lift your left knee up. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot outside of your left hand and gently drop the back knee. Okay, just check in to make sure that the front ankle is a little bit more forward of the knee. Everything that's touching the mat, press it down so that you press away. The heart is reaching forward. All that stuff stays the same as you bend the back knee and reach back with your left hand. Good, then once you've got the foot or, blanket strap, either way, try to square the shoulders to the front. This might be plenty right here, or you might bend the right elbow and maybe even come down onto the forearm. Good. Gently release your back foot. And let's heel toe the front foot to the other side of the mat, coming into pigeon. Make sure that back leg is straight behind you. Inhale to press down and lift up. Exhale, keep a little bit of that as you fold forward. By the way, if you guys are cyclists and you use Strava, make sure to add me on Strava. I love like scrolling through and seeing what people are doing. It's super motivating. Also kind of competitive, but like a healthy competition, you know? Good, breathing into that left hip. All right, place your hands back underneath your shoulders. And curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Shake it out a little bit. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pause and hold in your up dog. Press those hands into the mat. Try to spin the outer upper arms back as you reach the heart forward. And then press into the tops of the feet, engaging the muscles in the legs. Good. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's come on to the knees. And come up to where you're standing on the knees about hips width distance apart. And we'll take a couple rounds of camel pose. If you have a hard time grabbing your heels, play with tucking the toes under. Just makes the heels a little closer. All right, engage the quads, lift the hip points up, engage the glutes, hands to prayer. Take an inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, start to lower back. And then reach both hands back at the same time. Grab a hold of the insides of the heels if you can, so palms face away. Palms face, I guess, towards the sides of the mat. Lift your heart up as you press the heart forward. Keep engaging the glutes and breathe. Good. Both hands at the same time. Come back into prayer. And then sit back towards your heels. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Close your eyes for a deep breath. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Maybe playing with keeping the tops of the feet on the mat if you'd like. Engage the glutes. Lift the hip points up. Bring the hands together in prayer. Take an inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, come on back. Both hands at the same time, grab a hold of the insides of the heels. And then once you've got the heels, it's like your chest wants to fling forward as you press into the inner heels with your hands. You'll find that opening up the front of the chest a little bit deeper. Keep the breath going. Good. Both hands at the same time, come back into prayer. And exhale, lower down. Take a little break there. Good. Shift over to one side. Bring both legs out in front of you. Good. Press down into the femur bones, the backs of the hamstrings. Press down into the heels. Lift up from the low belly. Inhale, reach your arms up, lift your low ribs. Exhale, fold forward. Using the core to help you with the stretch. And one more deep breath. Good. Slowly come on up. And then let's bring both heels to the opposite corners of the mat. I'm taking one of my favorite side body stretches. Notice the right hand and bring it outside of your left leg, just wherever it lands. And then bend that elbow and pull on your leg. As you do that, keep the heart lifted and just breathe into that nice stretch there along the side of the body. Okay, let's come on back up. And second side. Left hand grabs a hold of the outside of the leg. Also, if your sitting bone lifted up, just let it stay lifted. Bend the elbow, pull on the leg, and lift the heart up. I think people, for whatever reason, have gotten used to like keeping the sitting bones down, but it's actually fine if they lift. And actually kind of uncomfortable to force them down. So I always say, try not to force anything. It's never good for yoga, no forcing. Okay, let's come on back to center and bring both legs out in front of you. And then just for a moment, let's come into boat pose, Navasana. Lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, lower into low boat. And then lower all the way down. Good, place your feet onto the mat. Knees up. And we'll just take one more back bend, press into your heels to lift your hips. Interlace your hands together under your body. Try to get the heels of the hands to touch if you can. And then let's shimmy one shoulder at a time underneath. Good, especially here, everything that's touching the mat is pressing down so you can rise up. So upper arms, shoulders, lower arms, feet. Really drive those things into the mat so your hips and your chest can lift higher. And don't forget to breathe. Good, lower all the way down. Let your knees touch, feet wide. Rest your hands on your belly. Good. Cross your right leg on top of your left, just like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Flex your feet and grab a hold of your shins. If you're super flexible, you might be able to grab a hold of your feet. If you're like me and tighten the hips, you might be a little closer to the knees. That's fine too. And try to kick your feet away from each other as you draw the knees in. And take a few deep breaths right here. Okay, and let's switch sides. Left leg on top of the right. And try to keep the shins parallel to the mat. And press your feet away from each other as you draw the knees in. And place both feet back onto the mat. And let's find happy baby. Bring the knees nice and wide. And press your feet up into your hands. And set your feet to the width of the mat and let your knees kiss. Okay, drop both knees to the right. Move your butt a little bit to the left. And cactus your arms overhead and gaze to your left. And you might bring the right heel on top of the left leg and just gently guide it forward and down. Finding a really nice stretch on the left side of the body, the obliques. Good. Come on back to center. Feet wide, knees touch. Recenter the hips. Let's drop both knees to the left and bump your hips to the right. Looking to the right. And possibly bringing the left heel on top of the right leg and gently guiding it forward and down. Inhale back to center. And exhale, find Shavasana. Imagining that every part of your body now that's touching the mat is just smoothing itself into the mat. With your exhalations, allowing your body to sink a little bit deeper. Allowing the muscles in the face to completely soften. And maybe even allowing for a little parting of the lips to release the jaw. And just noticing any sounds around you, any sensations that you feel. Not engaging with them, just acknowledging them. And let's invite a deeper breath back into the body. Good. Reach your arms back behind you. Point your toes, taking a full body stretch. Good. And place your feet onto the mat one at a time. And roll to your right side, just like you're waking up in the morning. Palms together, elbows together. Just acknowledging your body and all that it does for you. Acknowledging the benefits of the yoga practice. Good. Keeping your eyes closed and your head heavy. Use your top hand and press yourself up into a seat. And let's take one last cleansing breath together. Bring the palms together. Drop your chin and sit nice and tall. And take a deep breath into your nose. Fill up your belly, your chest, and your throat. Pause there at the very top. Sip in a little bit more air. Lift your chin, open up your mouth. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Make sure to subscribe to my page if you liked this video. Give it a little like, maybe a little comment, and hope to see you guys again soon. Namaste.